Well, hello everyone. We're back for a brand new season competitively, and we're here at the wonderful Babbitty Bowster. For me, the finest establishment in Glasgow, maybe apart from the Kerrydale bar at Celtic Park. Not that I was in there earlier. Stevie, we've got you, we've got Asim as well. We thought we'd go all out for the first video of the season and get two of the channel's big dogs, perhaps the channel's two big dogs in for this. We'll get the formalities out of the way and talk about the football. Stevie, we know you're a hard man to please at times.
No, I'm not.
Well, you're pretty pleased with that today?
Yeah, that's 3 points, clean sheet, as I keep saying. Thought we controlled the game. Never thought at any point we were threatened. Defence was solid, and in general, that's all you can ask for. But top of the league, where we belong.
Looking down on the Rangers.
I know, you can finally sing that.
That was a tap-in, man.
That the fact that song was sung, like, Jota was still celebrating and people were singing that song. That was a good moment.
It was. I think people were just itching because did you mention it in one of the pre-season ones we were singing it?
I made this come about, I think.
So, it was good. Similar to Stevie, I think that's as much as you can ask for from opening day. Obviously things that we could probably work on and improve as well, but thought we were pretty comfortable throughout the game, and I think 2-0 maybe even more was what would have been a fair reflection. So I think Jota's goal was needed at the time, but overall happy with that performance and result.
Yes, very delighted. Hello everyone who's watching us live. Bear with us, this is the first time we've done one of these from the wonderful Babbitty Bowster in a good while actually, probably 3 months or so.
No excuses. We got pre-season out the way, we made our mistakes. This is a competitive,
but not in this environment, in this wonderful pub. So we're expecting technical errors galore, but we'll wire on with it. I was pretty pleased with that in general this afternoon. Really excited for the game today, just being back. Friendlies are friendlies, competitive stuff is where it really matters. The team was probably what we'd all predicted, certainly we both predicted it. Was it the same as you?
Said it on GigPod when we did it yesterday actually. It was the exact team that we predicted. I think Welsh would have got an odd just ahead of Jens.
Ange was talking him up big time, wasn't he?
And then he repaid him with the opener. But yeah, it was the team I predicted, and Ange picked well in that respect.
Jens was never really going to start, was he?
No, I didn't think so. I think, like we said, the team last week, it kind of picked itself, and I think Welsh has deserved it. I think he's had a decent pre-season, and what a start as well. And I think he went on to have a great game as well.
Great moment, wasn't it? I tweeted first goal scored from a set piece since Barca 2012.
Genuinely? No. I was about to say Betis, like before that.
It was Welsh, but I think
it felt like it though, didn't
there
it?
was so much chat last season. We just don't score from set pieces, and I think towards the tail end we started getting really much better at them and productive from them. And then what a way to start! It was a great cross, Matt O'Reilly, and then brilliant header.
It's one of them you knew it was in the minute he was up, didn't you?
As soon as it left. It's similar to the Betis goal, just from the other side. But no, really pleased for Welsh, and I think more than merited his spot in the team.
Was that the perfect start to the season, scoring so early?
Aye, we had to settle down the crowd. I mean, you look before the game, everyone was buoyant, we were all unified. Great atmosphere, nice sunny day, brilliant display. And then getting an early goal was just topped that off, didn't it? Can you imagine, like, after that, before the game, when everyone was bouncing, and then if we had maybe a stuttery start or something, and then you get then the grumbles and the groans and all that, never for me, of course. Then everyone, and that starts affecting onto the team, and you can start seeing misplaced passes and the confidence goes down. But no, getting that early goal after, the fans back to the team before the game and everything, and it was such a positive mood. Really was a great start. And
I just want to touch on the fact that I think Ange has been building Welsh up quite a lot this week. I mean, there's been all the chat about Welsh potentially leaving the club. I think Ange really rates him. I think Ange sees a player in there. Time will tell whether there is a proper, good Celtic centre back in there. I think the jury's still out in that, but I've maintained for a while that Stephen Welsh is not the kind of weak point in that defence that so many people think he is. I think in general in pre-season he was good. The ball at his feet, maybe he can improve that, but
But even with that today, I thought he came out with it quite well today.
I can only think of one when he had a kind of short pass, but other than that,
I think John's been saying it quite a bit as well, hasn't he? He's been tweeting. But no, I agree. I think last season, obviously, he started. He was in the kind of mainstay for the start of the season, and there was a lot of pressure on him because we didn't really have any other options. But any time he's came in, he really lets us down. I know he splits opinion. I don't think he's a starter either yet. I think Starfelt and Carter Vickers are our best pairing, but I think he's more than able to come in, slot in, and do a good job. And he needs to step up this season and just put the gauntlet down for him to do that. And I think Jens coming in will push his game on as well. And I think that's the strength of bringing in competition. It just makes players elevate their performance.
Thoughts on Welsh today and in general?
I think took his goal well, but he never put a foot wrong. I don't think. A couple of times in the first half, distribution wasn't too great, but I think that went throughout the team. It wasn't just him. Hatate had a few misplaced passes. Maeda's final ball wasn't too great either. But and overall, anybody genuinely complaining about Welsh is on one. I thought he was excellent today.
What did you make of the first half? I'm interested to get your thoughts, because I thought in general we were, in charge of that game. We were the team that was probing. They could rarely get out in that first half. I think Hatate was controlling the game as well. He wasn't playing as well as he did against Norwich, as you say, and I agree, he had a lot of misplaced passes, but he was trying things. But virtually every attack we kind of start off goes through Hatate. Mm-hmm. I just felt in that first half, for as good as we were and the fact that we were dominant over Aberdeen, a bit more care in the final third, a bit of moving the ball a little bit quicker in the final third, better decision making. We would have maybe been 2 or 3 up. The obvious example I can think, I don't know if you remember the one where Aberdeen gave the ball away and Jota had the ball and he had 2 passes on and he tried to chip the goalkeeper. It was that kind of thing that I just found really frustrating, just in the first half, because I thought we were good, but I was just looking for that bit of extra composure. And I think that's something that will come with time as the season goes on.
Yeah, definitely. I think we started off really well, first 10, 15 minutes, I think. Yeah. And the midfield 3 were key. I thought O'Reilly was really sharp, and Hatate, he will make a lot of misplaced passes, but I think that's part of the beauty of him, is he'll try things which others might not. He'll try that defence splitting pass, but agreed he could take a bit more care with some of them. So I thought we started off really sharp. Jota, I think, took maybe 10. I think when he changed to the left, a lot more effective.
21 minutes he changed to the left,
and I think that as soon as he did that, I think we had 2 or 3 chances where he cut in. And
do you like that switch over? Because I've never really heard many people talking about it. We do it every game.
I prefer Jota out on the left.
I think they're both stronger on the left though.
Yeah.
Well, Maeda's not a right winger, is he?
Nah, but I think Jota, you get more out of him than Maeda usually on the left. But Jota's more unpredictable than Maeda. Maeda's more direct, but Jota can be direct. He can be very creative and tricky as well. He can go on the inside, outside, and he's just it's more fun to watch there.
Aye.
But I think I agree with Asim. In the first 15-20 minutes, totally in control. Then there's a wee bit of a dip in midfield. Aberdeen were generally clearing from flanks, just trying to take out our midfield. They got a bit of joy and they had a really good chance near
Was it Hayes?
Hayes,
I think it was towards the end of the first half. I was stunned that he put it wide.
Need to see it again.
Yeah, but that was their only really clear-cut chance, I would say. Other than that, I think you're struggling to think of any other chances we really gave Aberdeen.
I don't think Hart had a save to me. I think he had one kind of looping head in the second half.
One shot as well from, I think, Kennedy, that was straight down his throat. Yeah. But I thought we got balls into the box, but read into this what you want. This isn't me making any grand statement, but I thought we were more of a threat when Giakoumakis came on in general in the second half, and having that physical presence. Listen, I love Kyogo and I love Giakoumakis as well. I think there's a role for both of them over the course of the season. Of course there is. But I just think in some games like that, when you're getting into wide areas and putting balls across, the amount of ones that we had, Maeda, Juranovic putting across, Taylor, and the defender was just getting it away, and I'm thinking if Giakoumakis is in there, he's getting on the end of it. That was my one frustration with Kyogo today, that he kind of was waiting on the ball a little bit. But Aberdeen were trying to play out from the back, and I was just thinking, go after them every time, because they never looked secure doing that.
I think he was getting frustrated a couple of times as well, because we weren't playing that ball, and I think the way we play, we like to kind of build it up with a few passes. I think it is horses for courses with the two of them. You're right, I think in a game like today we were putting a lot of crosses in. That suits Gigi. Other games where we're playing a lot more kind of incisive on the counter attack, that will suit Kyogo. And we mentioned it the other day that we've got the players like Hatate likes to make that kind of defence splitting pass, and that's where it'll work for Kyogo. But today we were getting the ball down the wings and putting crosses in, and you've seen straight away in the second half. I don't know how he didn't score that, Gigi, but he's getting at the end of different crosses, and he creates chances for himself sometimes as well. So I definitely agree that they'll both be very effective at different points, just depending on how the game's going. And today it did seem like we weren't really getting Kyogo involved.
I just think it's weird, because when Giakoumakis signed, I looked at him as being a player away from home sometimes in the dodgy pitches, but you look at most of his big performances and his goals for us so far, they've been at Celtic Park.
2 hat-tricks have been at Celtic Park as well.
Scored 2, I think, in one game as well at Celtic Park.
I agree. I think as well, though, bear in mind, although Gigi came on and we looked a totally different team, we looked more threatening, more direct, more effective, can you imagine if GG started and it was misfiring, and then Kyogo came on against the Titan defence? People would then be starting saying, oh no, Kyogo needs to start next game and all that. It's going to be dips for both of them. There's going to be spells where they get, and I don't even think overall Kyogo had that.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I thought we were more dangerous when Giakoumakis came on.
I also did say to you before we started doing this, and you looked at me, gave me a very strange look, but I think Aberdeen in general defended pretty well. Alright,
we're doing an Aberdeen podcast, everyone. These two absolute Don's loving.
It's only about 20 minutes, I'm done. Finished.
Start calling you Sean.
Yeah, I just think Aberdeen defended pretty well, and you've got to give them a bit of credit, but as soon as GG came on, he did rough them up, and it was a different option completely. But yeah, I think overall GG will get stronger throughout the season, so will Kyogo. First game in, both finding their feet. I've got no concerns whatsoever.
You want to praise Aberdeen?
So I thought their number 5 was pretty good. I thought their number 9. No, I did. I think they were okay. Like we had obviously someone on from what was his name, from the Aberdeen podcast,
Ryan.
Right? And he said that he expected them to have a go. I don't think they parked the bus or anything, but they didn't offer much threat. Part of that was down to us. I think obviously we controlled the game. We didn't really give them much, but they defended well at times. There wasn't a lot of clear-cut chances for us, but I think, like you were saying earlier, a lot of that was down to maybe a bit of lack of care in the final third from us at times. Try to walk it in maybe at points, try to score that kind of perfect goal, but I thought our build up to get to the final third was really good at times, and then it's just, and that'll come, that's maybe just a bit of rustiness, but that kind of final ball, just creating a really good chance out of it, was lacking at times.
Right, we're 12 minutes into this and we've somehow not mentioned the goal of the season, because the goal of the season was scored today. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Stunning strike. Got a great view of it as well, of course.
You got a great view?
Yes.
I was right behind it.
You were?
Aye. Right behind it.
What, behind the Jockstein stand?
No, in the standing, right behind it. Boom, arrowed into the corner. Couldn't have had a better view.
Okay, well, sorry, I didn't know this was about the view trophy.
You should have brought it up.
Didn't know the view trophy was getting handed out to everybody, but there we are. Hamish is obviously the winner.
The Celtic view, if you will.
Do you not sit near each other? No.
Thankfully not. But no, it was a fantastic strike, and I think Jota as well, he had to manoeuvre and persevere to get to actually shape up to shoot. I think a defender was right on him, and he showed so much perseverance and strength to get his shot away. What a strike. Didn't see it coming as well, because I thought our next goal genuinely was going to be from Aberdeen being careless and give away I'm going to say it, penalty or something. Genuinely thought it was where our next goal was coming from, but what a strike. That's exactly why you go to the football to see goals like that.
Asim?
I thought Jota, he's always a threat, isn't he? Even though a lot of things didn't come off for it. I know he got man of the match, which I don't know if I personally
He's only getting that for the goal, isn't he?
For the goal, but he's just capable of that, and that's what we paid the money for, and I just thought every time he's on the ball, you still hope something might come from it.
Sorry to interrupt, can I also say that's now Jota scored against Aberdeen again in every game.
You tweeted about that, yeah.
I did. That's his 4 games against them. I think that's his 5th goal.
Yeah.
Aye. Has he got 2 against them in one game?
He
scored 2 in the last one at Pittodrie.
There'll be more relevant stats everyone throughout the season.
No, but it's weird how players have these teams that they just seem to remember. Samaras and Kelly was
Rogic against Aberdeen as well.
Rogic, Motherwell, Rogic, Aberdeen. It was just a brilliant goal. It was a piece of brilliance, and we really needed it at the time, because I think 15 minutes to go, I said to the guy I was watching the game with, it's going to be a nervy last 10-15 minutes.
And we've seen that last season. We had a lot of these kind of games at home, didn't we, where we ended up just kind of winning by the odd goal, even when the game maybe didn't reflect deserved to maybe win by a couple more. I didn't want that again. I thought, as much as I thought we could have won by more today, I thought, make sure and at least get that second, and it just made the last 15-20 quite comfortable. And I thought Turnbull, when he came on, was a good sub. I'm not normally a fan of the 3 subs at once, but I thought when he came on, he gave us a kind of injection of that forward pass that he likes, and I thought he did well when he came on.
Because he does turn and play forward. That's the thing about Turnbull, which I really like about him. Anyone else you want to comment on for the second half?
Greg Taylor, man of the match for me, fantastic. I understand why Jota get the man of the match, but the person I was watching the game with, I was like, Greg Taylor surely has to be. I wasn't say I was dismayed, because any Celtic player getting the man of the match, fair play, but I thought Taylor was fantastic. He really stood up to the long diagonals. Aberdeen had him down as a weakness, and he stood up to every one of the long diagonals in the first half and second half very well. Solid defending, really good going forward, and that left back spot now is his to lose. I think Asim, you even said that Bernabei coming in is going to give him that extra competition. He looks as if he's really taking that personally.
Yes.
And I love to see it, because Greg Taylor was fantastic. And this is for somebody that criticised him midway through last season too.
I'm very much in the same boat. Like, I thought we had a decent season last year, but I was still in the camp that that's an area we need to strengthen. But if he plays like that, like I thought in the first half especially, he was everywhere. He was playing like almost a playmaker. The amount of forward positions he was getting into and finding, he knows that role so well, and I think that's something that obviously Bernabei will have to grow to get used to. But having that competition, like, I think is going to raise his game a lot more. It's similar to kind of a different position, but I remember when we bought Paddy Roberts on the second time round, it just elevated Forrest's game so much to a level that we weren't sure he had in him. And likewise, if Taylor can kind of carry that form on that he showed today, I'd had no qualms with him being our first choice left back, whereas I might not have said that last season. And
there was also a part as well, sorry to keep going on about Taylor here, but just very quickly, when I think number 22, the Aberdeen left midfielder that came on? He skinned Juranovic, and Taylor was already out at Juranovic's side, and he was getting inside like towards the last third. Taylor brought him down, really smart foul. And then he was absolutely roaring at Juranovic for the fact that he let him cut inside. I love seeing that.
McCrory, wasn't it? It was McCrory that he took out. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was it really?
I'm sure it was McCrory. Yeah.
Whoever it was such a smart foul, and it was just very savvy of him. And again, screaming at Juranovic was.
You like to see that?
Love to see it.
And talking of great moments at the end of the game, CCV with that challenge right at the end was just brilliant, wasn't it? I think honestly the pace is something that's
underrated.
He's not massively quick, but he's certainly not the.
He's got a burst,
slouch.
didn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was he was up against, but it didn't seem like a particularly slow player. And I think it was the wee winger, and Basuyan or whatever, and he got across and cleared it out in the last minute as well. That's the thing I wanted to comment on as well, and that we shouldn't really be surprised. But in the closing stages, Aberdeen looked knackered for me. We looked like we were still hungry. We were taking corners quickly in the 92nd minute. Ralston, he'd just come on, but that kind of intent that we're able to bring off the bench now, I just thought was great. And we've beaten Aberdeen. Who knows where they'll finish this season? They weren't great last, but we've beaten Aberdeen comfortably, clean sheet. I didn't think Juranovic was particularly great. Thought McGregor had one of his poorer games. There's problem. O'Reilly was kind of misplacing passes, so Kyogo was quiet, as we've touched on. So we've won comfortably with all of these players to come and improve, and Starfelt's to come back. Bernabei, we'll see if he can break into the team. It's really exciting, guys. And on top of all of this has just kicked off the season nicely. I think it was really, really important today, for me personally, that we got top of the league straight away and put that gauntlet down.
You predicted
right
2-0 as well, didn't you? Just thought I'd drop
I'd hardly be surprised at this stage, Asim, that I know football, but get 2-0 win today. I thought it was great. No other team won by 2 goals this weekend. No. Top of the league right away. I think it just starts the season in the perfect manner. I don't know how you guys felt, but it almost felt like a continuation of Trophy Day at the start there, singing all those songs, the stadium full again. Yes, the stadium's not going to be that full all season, but it just felt today, we've had Trophy Days and Flag Days in the past, but it's been quiet and flat. Today it was rocking. The kick-off helped with that. Yes, it wasn't the 5-0 whatever it was,
4 that
many people predicted. You weren't the only one, but it was a comfortable win, and I just think we go from here.
It's like Ange said on Friday, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs this season, just last season, but the main thing, what we all were as a fan base, players and manager as well, we were all unified. And again, Ange, that was his key message on the press conference on Friday, just to show that unity, all be together, and that's what it looked like today. Before the game, during the game and after the game, everybody had a big smile on their face, including me.
Wow. I mean, we have no kind of corroboration of that, do we? Just need to take your word for that. The display at the start was brilliant. I must admit, I was sceptical prior to it. During the day, sunny, would it be quite as good? Splendid. I mean, certain other clubs that we certainly wouldn't ever criticise do displays very badly. I mean, the one last year was an absolute shambles. I think they were playing Aberdeen at the time. Today, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was what a display. Everyone at the North Curve, Green Brigade, whoever, everyone that donated, I think deserves massive credit for that, and everyone who participated today.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in the North Stand 405, so obviously whilst you're doing it, you can't really fully appreciate it.
Have you seen the photos?
I've seen the photos and videos
Brilliant.
after, and that's when you're like, wow. We touched on it the other day. They've not disappointed yet in their other two, and definitely again, it's just, you just look at it and it's stunning. And like you said, great credit to them because the amount of effort and time they put towards these things and delivered yet again. It was a great start to, like you said, contributed to the atmosphere and the occasion.
Just set the tone.
It did, yes. I do have one small criticism.
It's always one, isn't it?
I holding up that tin foil in that heat, I felt like a big roast chicken. So that was my only sort of thing I can criticise. But other than that, nothing.
McGregor had Under Armour on today.
Did he?
Someone else as well had Under Armour on.
I think somebody needs to have a word with him. Probably
Honestly.
the manager, but if not, I'm happy to say
Under
something.
Armour. In a day like today, it was
toasty,
roasting
it was
hot. I
toasty.
mean, it was boiling. I'm so glad when that sun went away.
I would probably suggest it needs to grow up, Hamish.
Certainly. Yeah, I think that's us. I just wanted to comment that. We'll get in some of the comments actually. I picked out 8. Just touching on some of the things we've touched on. Celtic 67, best I've seen Greg Taylor play. This one coming in, good to see us scoring from set pieces again. If Starfelt stays injured, Celtic are a stick on for the Champions League. What is it about the Starfelt hate? Come on, Pato. Mike saying 3 Scotsmen in a pub with no pints on the table. It's no Leamington Spa, lads. I just spill it all over the table, mate.
All over my
Brilliant.
phone. But I did finish mine.
I just really wanted to pick this. This guy's made a really good point, I think. Hamish is the GOAT.
No comment.
This one coming in talking about our defence. Still suspect at the back, getting caught in counter-attacks. Any comments on that, guys? Hayes misses a sitter.
I don't think we were that suspected. I don't think we gave much away. Yeah, that one chance, but
Last 10 minutes, the first half, when Aberdeen were just clearing
that was
long
the moment.
balls, and that's when at times we were not controlling it in midfield. I think sometimes O'Reilly, I thought he had a great game and generally controlled it. But there's a couple of times with O'Reilly in the tackle when it's 50-50s.
He had one today.
He doesn't go through it as much, and I don't get it.
he likes to come out clean, I think, with that challenge. And
Big physical boy. And I
He's
know
not that kind of player. It's
I know
like James
he's not, and
Forrest.
it's
Never
like me.
gonna
It's
see
like
it.
me. I know, and it's like me saying he needs to be done.
It's like asking you not to moan. It's just not in your character.
I think you're doing me wrong here, but no, I do. I mean, Ange's never wanting to see him change his game. He wants to progress the type of player that he
see
is.
him? I thought he was raging when he came off. I don't know if you've seen that. I think he was
You're
talking.
creating controversy.
No, but in a good way. Like as in, just I think he's got that kind of character that he just wants to play all the time, and he always, I think he's quite self-critical, and he always wants to improve. And you can see when he's coming off, he's probably frustrated he's coming off. But not in a like he went down and shook Ange's hand and stuff. So no controversy there. But I like to see that. I think he's got a really kind of good mentality, Matt O'Reilly, and I think he's going to be I think you picked him out as kind of one of the players to watch this season as well, haven't you? Like you're a big fan.
Big fan, definitely.
Aye,
but I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of Yakimakis, Kyogo,
aye.
Hatate, CCV.
Changes every week. Who's your favourite this week?
It's always Yakimakis.
Is it? Is
I
GG
love GG.
And JJ's yours?
Yeah.
Isn't him, Stevie?
That is, yes.
We got this one in, happy enough, a bit wasteful in front of goal at the time, great pressing and hunger to win the ball back. Final thing I wanted to touch on, Aaron Moy I thought came on, had a couple of really good passes. Listen, he's miles off it fitness wise. He
I was surprised to see him come on because I thought based on last week I thought he'd be weeks off, but when he came on he
was up against a tired Aberdeen, but he had one pass for Yakimakis, it was really good.
I did say that he was up against a tiring team, yes, but the positions that he took up, was very
Clever
clever.
player.
It seems like he's very clever, and we'll need that experience in those type of games against these teams, either to break them down or just to see the game out. But it was very useful when he came on, and it's like I said, it's still very early to judge him, but I'd like to see more of him.
Noticed no McCarthy on the bench today as well. So
Did you create more controversy?
No.
Get you a job with the Daily Record at this rate.
No, I just think Moy's already probably ahead of him in the pecking order as we suspected, isn't it? Which is good. I think no hate against McCarthy, but I just feel we've seen enough now to see that I just don't see him contributing much.
I was told today about Gucci's injury that apparently collided with a mannequin at training and had like a really deep cut, so he's going to miss a few weeks.
Is this a wind up?
No, why would it be a wind
Mannequin?
Aye, like what is a mannequin again?
Like the
people.
Aye,
like the fake ones. You take
That
free
you're
kicks
trying-
into that.
fake walls and that.
So that's what happened to him. Final comment, Stevie, before we let you go.
Well done, Celtic.
Short, sweet, Asim.
Yeah, I think as much as we could hope for the opening day of the season, top of the league, and with a lot more to come as well, which is the encouraging thing. I think we'll only get better. Ross County away next week, so that's a tough one, but that's what you want.
It's good we're kind of off the mark, isn't it? And you look at these fixtures, I think County away is going to be tough, and I think Kelly the following week is going to be really tough. Bad feeling about that one, but anyway. But I just think we've got these games. What an opportunity to get win after win after win.
We've got a full week between the games.
And the other mob don't. I think you've got a qualifier midweek.
Tuesday,
I don't usually pay attention to qualifiers. I'm just interested in the group stage. But anyway, right, we'll let you go, guys. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy whatever's left of the rest of your weekend. Same to all of you. We are, of course, not breaking at all. We never stop on 67 Hill here. We're back tomorrow when I'll be taking another look back at today and just comments. We'll play some of the video footage from the game as well at the start. Yes, thanks very much for joining us. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet, as we go for 32,000. We will speak to you on tomorrow's video.